Hi there, this is the extremely belligerent Mars trap in the Italian, and Mars of course was the Roman mythological god of war. After e4 and e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4 and bishop c5 is the Italian. White plays c3 to support a d4 push in the center, and black's most resilient defense here I believe is knight f6, which hits the pawn on e4. d4 is played anyway, and after e takes d4, c takes d4, hitting the bishop runs to b4, throws in a check. So white interposes with knight c3, allowing the pawn on e4 to be gobbled up. So knight takes on e4. White will castle here. This is still solid theory, and white now wants to take the knight on e4. So knight takes c3 by black is met by b takes on c3. Still more or less equal. Black could perhaps try bishop takes on c3 with complications, but black's most solid defense here I believe is d5. If instead the bishop retreats to e7, then white gains an initiative. First with d5, hitting the knight, sending it to a5, because the knight is happy to trade with the bishop on c4. But white leaves the bishop there and goes one further with the pawn on d5 to d6. Now it's hitting the bishop on d6. Well, black dare not play a knight takes on c4, because after pawn takes on e7, black is in ruin. If queen takes the pawn, then the rook's coming to e1, and that's certainly winning for white. So after d6, black's best defense would be c takes on d6, but that would allow white to play bishop takes on f7, because after king takes f7, the queen is arriving at d5. That's check, and the knight will be heading for g5 with a very, very strong, possibly winning attack here for white. So if instead, after d6, bishop takes on d6 is even worse for black, and now white secures initiative with rook e1. Well, that's check. If the king goes to f8, then we're going to see the same idea. Bishop takes f7, king takes f7, and queen d5 is pretty much decisive. If the king runs back to f8, now bishop g5 instead of knight g5 is going to pretty much win the queen. So after rook e1 check, we're looking at the bishop retreating to e7, and now bishop g5 threatens again rook or bishop takes on e7. So f6 will interpose, but we have a lovely continuation by white with bishop takes on f6, reinstating the threat on e7, offering himself up for capture. So after g takes on f6, knight e5, another hard move to see. What that does, it offers itself up, because if f takes on e5, queen h5 is checked. That's going to be mate on f7 on the next move. So black has to stop queen h5. He does so by playing h5. Now queen d3, the queen is heading for g6, the same type of mate. Rook h6 prevents it. Queen d5, threatening mate on the move there on f7. So the rook back to h7. But queen g8 is going to mate, because now after the bishop withdraws to f8, now I have a discovered attack with a knight. Knight g6 is threat, is a discovered check with a rook on e1. And after rook e7, then white can mate with either queen takes on f8 or queen f7, perhaps prettier. So this has been the Mars trap in the Italian. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.